You have your down move in the short term and inside bar. That leads me to still believe
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Gareth Soloway discusses Bitcoin's potential recovery to $90,000, exploring market signals and investor sentiment.
Bitcoin fell down, basically giving back the prior day's gains, and it's down a little bit today. So again, I would just point out what type of pattern formation in the short term is this. If we bring up our arrows, you have your down move in the short term and inside bar. That leads me to still believe that we're headed down to 74 to 72,000 on Bitcoin. All right. So again, doesn't mean we can't reattack resistance up here, but I would continue to be bearish near term on Bitcoin unless we confirm above 92,000. And then even then, we still have to attack the all-time high at 108 to 109. But right now, this pattern is a pattern that I trade all the time, and it is a bearish pattern.
Binance's stablecoin market has reached a record $230 billion, signaling a notable shift in the crypto landscape. According to recent data, Binance holds 66% of stablecoin reserves across major exchanges, totaling around $31 billion. This impressive hoard reflects not only growing investor interest but also hints at a potential Bitcoin rally. Historically, periods of rising stablecoin reserves on Binance have preceded an upswing in Bitcoin prices, suggesting that liquidity is gathering in anticipation of market moves. Binance founder Changpeng Zhao humorously noted that more stablecoin startups are launching compared to altcoins, emphasizing a trend where new projects are focusing on stablecoins. Analyst Starkfos from CryptoQuant highlighted that Binance's strong stablecoin reserves indicate the platform's success in attracting liquidity. This liquidity, in turn, draws more investors, reinforcing Binance's role as a major hub for digital assets. Additionally, Tether continues to dominate the market with a 62.5% share, underscoring the stablecoin's influence on the broader crypto ecosystem. As investors move assets onto Binance, many see this as a bullish signal for Bitcoin, with growing liquidity paving the way for a potential rally. This trend has investors excited and cautious, as the stablecoin surge might fuel a broader recovery in the crypto market.
Now, one of the things I was talking about here was this pattern formation. So this is the QQQ, the NASDAQ 100. And we know this is the tech-heavy index. We're basically the seven, the Magnificent Seven. You can throw in Tesla if you want, but ultimately these stocks make up about 50% of this index. We know that the 2022 low here, the bear market low, it's connected perfectly to this low here in October of 2023, the low in August of 2024, and right here we broke. Okay, now you broke and you did confirm, which means this is now major resistance on the NASDAQ 100. Now, if I go over to the big board here and we discuss what pattern formation this is, and I always try to kind of teach you guys as we go so you guys know all that's in here in my head that I've learned over many years of trading. This down move, and then this is the pattern formation. What type of pattern formation is that? That's what we call a bear flag in technical analysis. Now, can bear flags fail? Absolutely. I've seen a lot of them fail. But if you looked at 1,000 of these, generally about 70% or 700 of these would play out like this. And so again, as a trader that ignores emotion, tries to limit any sort of personal feelings I have for any sort of investment, I go with the probabilities like a casino, right? We're just playing the odds over and over and over again. And as long as we stay below this line, the odds favor this pretty significant move to the downside. In general, I've noticed that these type of patterns have a tendency to do what's called a measured move. What's a measured move? Well, notice how it's a very sharp drop from here to here. All right, so what that tells me is that there's a decent likelihood we will replicate that distance wherever we top out. If it was here or if we go over here, that distance then will be replicated out to the downside. And again, that puts us down significantly over 20% on the NASDAQ 100 if this measured move bear flag plays out. And we could be talking about this type of drop within months. I mean, again, if we look at this took about a 1 month period here, even a little less. Now let's say we consolidate for, let's say another week. Let's just say it's chop. So you get a couple weeks of chop, and then that next leg takes you about a month further out. That, again, is not long to see the NASDAQ potentially from the February highs down potentially 20%. So just something to keep in mind here, folks. Again, this is probability-based trading using the charts to our advantage. And by doing that, again, we just try to put ourselves in a position to win a majority of the time. We know we're not going to win all the time. That's not even in question. There's no trader that does. But we want to win a high probability or percentage of the time. All right, speaking of which, looking at Apple, look at the pattern on Apple. It's almost identical. The only difference is we have a head and shoulders pattern here. Now, again, a head and shoulders, much like what I just talked about, can be figured out in terms of a target. You take your high of the head, you drop that line exactly down to what's called the neckline. This is called the neckline, right, of the head and shoulders. You take that same distance, and from the break point, that is your downside target. So basically, we're talking sub 180 on Apple just to complete this pattern formation here, or the head and shoulders. Now, what's interesting here is you have the same sort of breakdown, right? You broke the support level, just like the NASDAQ 100, right? If we flip back to the NASDAQ, here's your support level on the NASDAQ, broke, right? And look at the sideways chop, the bearish consolidation that's occurring. Now, again, is it possible that this could fail and magically Apple could rebound and get back above this level? Absolutely. But until it does, it favors that downside cycle move, which takes us down to sub 180 on Apple.
Becoming a Bitcoin millionaire may sound like a dream, but careful planning and discipline can make it a reality. The guidelines include understanding Bitcoin's 4-year price cycle, taking advantage of daily volatility with a disciplined dollar-cost averaging strategy, and researching promising altcoins with strong fundamentals. Regular contributions, even small ones, can compound over time, turning modest investments into substantial gains. Learning to navigate the market's ups and downs is essential, as timing buys during dips and selling wisely when prices peak can boost returns. Practical advice also involves managing taxes efficiently through crypto IRAs and protecting investments from hacks and scams by using secure exchanges. Staying informed, avoiding impulsive decisions, and focusing on long-term growth are the cornerstones of building wealth in the crypto space. With perseverance and a strategic mindset, anyone can work towards achieving $1 million Bitcoin portfolio while riding the exciting waves of the dynamic cryptocurrency market. Bitcoin ETF have rebounded with $744 million in inflows this week after 5 consecutive weeks of outflows. On Monday alone, ETF recorded a robust $274 million inflow, signaling renewed institutional interest amid easing macroeconomic pressures. After losing over $5.3 billion since February, the recent inflows suggest that investors are repositioning themselves as they anticipate a market recovery. While Bitcoin remains below the $90,000 mark, the steady accumulation of funds, including significant contributions from BlackRock's IBIT, indicates a cautious optimism in the market. However, some analysts warn that this demand might be driven partly by arbitrage strategies rather than genuine long-term interest. As Bitcoin ETF continue to attract liquidity, market participants are closely watching these developments, hoping that the current momentum will translate into a broader rally for Bitcoin and a stabilization in crypto markets. This renewed activity may signal a strong bullish trend, offering hope for a resilient crypto future. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.